Hi, I'm Ben from A&B, and here we are today with the GASGAS MXC 5. The MXC5 from GasGas has 160mm front travel and 140 rear. There is a DVO and WP suspension collaboration here. So the tuning of the fork and the shock is all done by WP using DVO chassis. And in the front you get cone valve technology from WP, which is something that's very common in their motorbike suspension. You can adjust compression, rebound, high speed, low speed, all the things you'd expect on such a high-end, high-performance bike. We've also running the Powertrain motor from SRAM. This has allowed a whole suite of integration here. We've actually got a hammerhead computer on here, which integrates with the Powertrain system itself. We're running a GX transmission rear derailleur that is hardwired into the battery itself for the bike. So you can actually pop off the battery at the back and put this mainline battery in there, which means that you're using the battery off the motor. If for some reason the motor is going to get to such a point where it is so low that you are still allowed enough power to be able to change gears and ride your bike manually, or analog as you will. A few other good things here with the Powertrain system. You've got the dual pod remotes. We're currently running a single pod because we don't have an axis dropper, so we don't feel the need to have a dropper remote and the pod system. However, if we did have a pod system on here, it would be because we're running an axis dropper post, using one button to toggle through the modes on the Powertrain system and one for the dropper post. Currently using an in-house GasGas dropper post, we're using the little axis button here to toggle from range and rally modes. Range, as you expect, is to sort of like help you get a bit longer out of the battery and everything like that. The assistance on that is probably about, from stock, about 50% of what you find in the rally mode. The rally mode is like as much power as you can get into yourself from the motor. Some really cool things you can do in the app for the Powertrain, and you can see that on your hammerhead, is you can adjust the amount of input in both modes. So you can kind of create a increase the range mode to be like an in between the range and the rally mode. So the rally can just be your full, I want all the power, I want all the assistance, I'm just smashing up a fire road type thing. I don't need to worry about it just coming in with power under my feet. And you can then maybe like switch your range mode if you're not looking to just get the big life out of your battery, to that probably go down to like sort of like that 70 to 50% power delivery. So that way it's giving you that little bit sort of like hand of God pushing you up and over things in technical terrain. So this one with the smaller battery is 630 watts. You still get the same 90 Newton meters of torque and 250 watt hours. It is really lively and fun. The shorter travel has sort of been really good on a lot of the trails here. It's really nimble, whips around, incredibly stable in the air, and really sort of evenly balanced. Something else that is of note is just how much grip the bike has. So a lot of rear end grip there, and a lot of front end grip too. The cone valve technology on a WP/DVO fork does require you to sort of like really sort of attack the trails a bit to get through that initial bit of travel. Because what the cone valve does is it helps you sit up in the travel to allow you into a better sort of attack position. Once you've pushed through that, generally with an e-bike it's a lot easier because you've got the force and the weight. But once you push through that, it is a super supple feeling fork. The rear shock's been amazing. Transmission is built for e-bikes. You can just change under load, you can do whatever you want. A really neat feature that I'm going to find hard to not have on an analog bike is the auto shifting. There's been quite a few times on this where I've used the auto shift mode. That is something that Powertrain has, where you can actually, while you're rolling, even through a rock garden into a corner or something like that, you can change gears without pedaling, and the system itself, the motor will spin forwards, doesn't propel you forwards at all, spins forward on its axle, and you can still change gears up or down. It's amazing. Brake-wise, we get a G2 brake from SRAM, a 4-piston brake, which is probably now more commonly known under the Level name. If we had to pick a downside for the bike, it would be that the brakes are sort of like underpowered for something. This comes in at 24.1 kilos, so it's not super heavy, but it's also not super light. So you're going to find with the brake like this, and you know, if you're putting sort of like that, the average sort of 80 to 90 kilo sort of like person on the bike, and even like a 60 kilo person, that they're going to be a bit under braked. We'd probably look to put something like a coat on here, or if you really want that extra modulation and power, something like a Maven that you probably find on your bigger travel e-bike or enduro bike these days. Does come with 220 rotor on the front and 200 on the rear, so there definitely is some stopping power there. But it's the confidence and the ability of the bike that probably make the brakes a bit outgunned, and we'll probably see a running change happen from GasGas on that in the near future. A couple of the other parts we get on the MXC5 from GasGas here are their own in-house wheels. So you've got 29 and 27, just an alloy pinned wheel. Have had zero issues with it. It's quite durable. You get an in-house alloy handlebar, and you get the in-house dropper post here as well. The dropper post has been pretty flawless. Tyres, you get Maxxis front and rear. You get a Max Terra on the rear and a Max Grip on the front in the form of an Assegai and a DHR2. They are Exo Plus casing. I'd probably look to have something at least like a double down on a bike, sort of weighing that 24 kilo mark. Just a few occasions where you've landed from something and there's been a bit of tyre roll that's been a bit unexpected. A few of the important numbers, if you want to get a bit more into something like the MXC5, 64.5 degree head angle, so pretty standard. 74 degrees seat tube, not super steep. It is an e-bike, so the climbing position's not as important. You do get a nice short 165mm crank. The GX transmission crank does come in a much shorter length as well, which is really good if you find you're banging pedals out there. As you can see, there's no boulder cage on the bike. I like to wear a hydro pack like this Albeck one on e-bikes, because it does give you the option to put like the 250 watt range extender in here, which is something that I would purchase if I had one of these. Yeah, it's an e-bike and it's certainly helping you, but 2.5 hours and to 3 hours if you've got a range extender is a massive workout. So being able to have like 2 liters of liquid on you is really good. Summarizing everything you've got here, we've got a beautiful carbon fiber frame. You've got really nice suspension, top of the line stuff here. You've got 160 on the front, you've got 140 on the back. It does feel like it has more suspension in the rear than it actually has via the numbers. And it's delivering some great grip. Probably the standout feature, other than the powertrain system itself, has been this in-house dropper post. It's been really reliable in some pretty horrible conditions. We've had some in-house dropper posts from other brands that haven't been that great in the past, so it's really nice to see something like that that's been well thought out. Again, touching on the brakes, it's a bit under braked, but I think a little bit of that harks back to how good the bike actually is. All in all, it's a really superb package. Probably bang for buck in the MXC5 range. There's a model below this and a model above this. At basically $13,500. You could ride it away and not change a thing and have an awesome time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Jump on our website for a little bit more information. Enjoy the ride.